Hey besties, I'm so glad that you're here. If you are new, I'm Lisa Marie. Thanks for stopping by. If you are one of my subscribers or besties, I love you and appreciate you so much. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to use Dollar Tree decals and mash them up with thrift store finds, and I can't wait. So let's go. For my first DIY hack, I'm taking this thrifted item. It looks like it was originally from Hobby Lobby. I got it for $3. It was $7.99. And then here are the Dollar Tree stickers or decals that I'm going to use. I'm just going to take those flowers around the edges of that one. I had cut it up before. And then ballet slipper chalk paint and Rust-Oleum linen white chalk paint. There are all the pieces cut. I'm going to take the ballet slipper. I'm just going to start painting it all over the pig. There it is. I'm going to dry it with my heat tool from Amazon. And I just love that thing. Anyway, I say that every time, but it's true. And then I'm going to paint the pig through the back too, because I want him to, or her, to look like a pig. And then I'm going to go through and just kind of clean up all the white. It's like a very thin metal, but it was kind of dirty looking, but with a brown. And I'm going to use a different color to do it. I'm going to take a nail file, also from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to start going around the edges to bring back out those rough edges, but that wasn't enough. So I'm using a little sanding block with a 60 grit sandpaper, and that seems to be helping me. But I'm going to also take this black acrylic paint from Apple Barrel and just use a little edge of a foam brush and go around. And now that's a lot more than I wanted, but I am going to go back over it with some white just to tone it down a little bit. Sometimes it's hard to do just a little bit of black, you know what I mean? Anyway, I will fix that and I end up really loving it. But in the meantime, I'm going to take those, we'll just call them decals. Anyway, I'm going to take those decals and I'm going to start figuring out where I want them. I want it to look like the pig is walking by a fence with like flowers all around it. So I'm just going to cut the edges off with my blade, and I'm going to cut wherever it makes contact with another edge so it kind of lays flat. If I have to cut them up into little pieces, I will do that. You can do this any way you want, okay? And even like hanging over the edge like that one was. And I really like it. And then I got a suggestion from a friend, Leonette at DIY Beauty on Purpose. I was showing her my pig, and she said, add some real flowers for like a 3D effect. And I thought, oh my gosh, what a great idea. So first I added a butterfly. Now I'm also going to put Leonette's channel down in the description box for you to check her out because she always has great ideas. I love bouncing ideas off of her. And now I'm going to take this little, I think this is boxwood, and I'm just going to cut up teeny little pieces. And then I have these flower petals because everything was getting too green almost. So I got these flower petals that had different colors of pink or magenta. And I kind of cut them off of a flower, poked a hole in the middle, and now I'm putting these little wild kind of greenery pieces that I painted pink and added some more white on them in a minute here. I'm going to hot glue those on, and there I am adding that white. They were just too pink like the pig. I was trying to get them to stand out a little bit more. And then I forgot what these are called, but I just cut up little pieces of these. And then I started putting the boxwood on the back. That way it would poke through every opening on the back. You would see it, and also along the edges. Anyway, I did go a little crazy. I'll admit it. It was one of those times where I might have needed to stop, but I didn't. But I just like it so much. It's really cute. It's turning out a little bit shabby chic, but I think it can still work with farmhouse. Now I'm going to go in with the white. Just put a little bit and then smear it with my hand. I figured I have to wash my hands anyway. And just used up the last of the little stickers. And I got to tell you, I really, really like this one. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's so adorable. I've got this sheer pink ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to put it through the holes, hot glue it down to the back, and then put another piece of ribbon across that middle part of the fence just to secure it. But then I like my backs finished, so I ended up taking the pink and I painted the whole back. Not sure if I really needed to do that, but okay, it's done. Let me know what you guys think. What would you have done? If you are enjoying this video, I ask you to hit that like button. It helps me by telling YouTube to show my video to more people, so thank you. For this DIY hack, I'm going to use, actually I turned out only using those black flowers. I didn't use the stickers on the right, but they're very cute. Those are from Dollar Tree. And then I got this cute little trinket kind of box, I guess, for $1 at a thrift store. And it looks like a gift came in it or something, but it's not my color scheme, but I just thought it was a cute shape. I'm gonna use my Rust-Oleum chalk linen white paint and a foam brush. And I'm gonna paint the whole bottom, including the sides, all in the linen white, and just do a couple coats to get that coverage. I'm not gonna do the part that gets rubbed underneath the lid because it'll just scrape off paint, I think. So of course I dry it with my heat tool between coats, and there it is with 2 good coats. It looks really nice. Did the lid as well, even though I'm gonna change the color of the lid. Now I'm gonna cover it in polyurethane so that I can put the stickers on. So I'm lining it up where the seam is because I just kind of think that might really matter. Anyway, I don't know if it does or not. I'm gonna take that entire strip of the flowers and put it around and just lay it down very carefully and burnish it over the top with my fingers. Then I'm going to take the other one, which is now too long, so I will cut off the 2 ends so that I can place the rest of it down on the remaining side of the little, I guess I'll call it a cardboard canister. I think that's what that would be. I'm just going to put that one down and be very careful when you place it down because it sticks so fast, and I had to kind of reposition it, which was a little tricky with the polyurethane already on there. So there it is, all nice and done. And now I was thinking, I don't think I want the top white, so I am going to paint that different. But first I'm going to put a clear coat of the polyurethane over all of the stickers in that white part because I want to make sure they're sealed on there very nicely. So I'm going to take this black acrylic paint from Apple Barrel, and I'm just going to do the outside of the lid. It takes a couple coats, and then I also put polyurethane over that off camera. I'm going to take 2 Jenga blocks or tumbling tower blocks from Dollar Tree. I painted them white and then I glued them together, and I'm going to take the little pieces that were left over and cut them up into smaller pieces and put them on those 2 blocks because that will become the handle on top of the box. And I thought that was a really cute way to tie it all together. So I really love how that turned out, and I just took all the little pieces that were left and made them even smaller, and it just worked out perfectly. I'm going to take a blade and kind of go between where the 2 pieces are together if I put a sticker over the top. That way it lays flat. And then I'm going to put polyurethane over the top of that. And then I'm going to use a combination of E6000 and hot glue to put it on the top. Now I'm measuring to find the exact center, so that's what I'm doing right now. And then I'm just going to put a little dot to remind myself of where that is. And here we go, putting the 2 glues on. Obviously, the E6000 is for the long hold and the hot glue is for immediate hold. And I think this turned out super cute. What an easy way to repurpose a little cardboard canister. I bet somebody has one at home they could do this with. It could be square too. Let me know what you think. For this DIY hack, I have this bowl. I don't know if it's teak, but it reminds me of teak. Got it for 50 cents. I actually got 2 of them. And see those little dandelion blue stickers? I'm going to use those from the Dollar Tree or decals. They're so cute. Took off the stickers, cleaned the bowl with my cred cutter real good. It's amazing. Things don't look dirty, but when you clean them, they really are. So you always have to clean them from the thrift store. At least I want to do that for sure. I'm sure most of you do too. Okay, once that was done and all dry, I took some painter's tape and it just went up around the very top edge. I wanted to just make one little area white. I'm going to use my Rust-Oleum linen white chalk paint. And I'm just going to paint from the tape line down to where it naturally kind of ends before it angles off towards the bottom. And I just thought that would look super, super cute. Did a couple coats, dried it with my heat tool from Amazon. And now the best part, removing the tape. Gosh, I love that so much. Anyway, it just looks great. Now, it's not perfect because it's round, but you know what? I'm not trying to have perfection. I just wanted kind of a 2-tone effect, color blocking, if you will. I'm going to put polyurethane finish over just the white paint just to seal that in. And then once it's dry, I'm going to take my little dandelion stickers or decals. I'm just going to use kind of the smaller versions of them. There's 2 different small sizes. I'm going to just start putting them around, and then I'll fill in some of the gaps as I go. And I really like the way it looks. And then I'm just going to cover it with the polyurethane again. And then I have 3 corks that I was given by my stepdaughter. And I'm going to paint those in the linen white paint again, except for the part I'm going to glue on to the bottom.
and took a couple coats, by the way, to do that. And then I'm just going to use some E6000 and hot glue like I usually do when I want something to really stay. So I'm putting the E6000 right in the middle and then the hot glue around it, and I'll do that for all 3 of the legs. And I just thought that made it look a little different to have the legs on it. I thought it was super, super cute. This is such an easy project. All you need is a bowl, paint a little bit, and some decals, and I love it. And you can stage this in so many ways. I think it's great. And the inside of the bowl is still the way it was, so you can use it for anything. For this DIY hack, I'm going to use these decals from the Dollar Tree that I'm going to use just the Our Story, Our Home, Our Love part. And then I got these 3 books at a thrift store for 50 cents each. Really nice hardcover books. And I know some people don't like that, but honestly, 50 cents, I'm sorry, I got to do it. Anyway, I took off the paper covers, and now I love how that one has just the white stripe kind of down it, but it was an off-white. So I'm going to use the same idea on all of them. Tape it down, and I'm going to use some white primer paint by Kills, mostly because it's just so stark white. Dry them off, do another coat, and I'll do the same thing on all 3 books and around the edges of that where the binding is. And then I end up doing also the sides of the pages when I'm all done. So like the 2 sides and the front. So when you look at the book from every angle, it's whiter. You know, like I just like a little bit of that crisp white look in this case. I'm not making them look antique-y or anything. So that's why. So I'm just gonna, like I said, do this same stripe. Doesn't it look good? I don't know. I just makes the book look so pretty and like kind of fancy. Anyway, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think of that and if that changes the look of the book for you. And here I am painting those sides like I mentioned. Anyway, now one thing that I should have done is while they were not together, I should have just hot glued all of the covers back in front to the book part, but I instead did the books to each other, and then I go back and do the inside of the covers. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, learn from my mistakes and do it the other way, because it was kind of silly now that I look back at this. Anyway, whatever, it works either way. So see what I'm doing now. I pick up the cover, and now I'm gonna have to do it to the inside ones too, which is why it seemed kind of backwards. Whatever it is, it is. So there I am. I will glue them all together, and you don't have to saturate it, just enough hot glue to hold it down. I'm also going to put a ribbon around them, so you know they're not going to get opened up or anything like that. I just want them to stay more stationary. So now I'm going to cut out those 3 little sections. I'm going to leave the hearts behind and the This Is Us, and I'll save it for another project. And all I'm going to do is put them in the order that I like, which is Our Home, Our Love, Our Story. I feel like that's kind of the sequence that they go in. And I guess it could have been Our Love, Our Home, Our Story. Either way, I just love this book stack. If you don't have a Cricut or a cutting machine, this is a great way to do this. Or if you don't like your handwriting or whatever. Then I'm going to take some polyurethane by Minwax. I'm just going to cover up where the white is and where the words are. I'm not going to do the rest of the book. It doesn't need to be done that way. And I'm just going to go ahead and do that and dry it. And I've got this beautiful ribbon. It's wired. I think I got it at Hobby Lobby. And look how beautiful that ribbon is. And I'm just going to hot glue where the pieces meet. And then I'm going to take some faux flowers that I also got at Hobby Lobby. They're just a little bit higher quality. And I cut down the stem, so it was pretty thick stem, so I needed to cover that part up. So I got some very thin twine from the Dollar Tree, and I just wrapped it all the way around the end there. And then I used that to hot glue it to the top of the book. And then I also tacked down a couple leaves here and there so it would stay in place. I also wanted them to lay sideways, and you know they don't want to do that on their own. So you have to kind of force it a little bit with the hot glue. But I just love how easy this is, how great it turned out, and just what a nice little piece for your home. This could go in almost any room. I think I'm going to stage this in our living room. I just really, really like it. And you could put anything on the books that fits whatever you're trying to accomplish. Anyway, I hope you like it. Let me know what you think, and would you try something like this too? For this DIY hack, I'm going to use these really pretty butterfly stickers from the Dollar Tree. I just love them. I love the colors. And then I got this lantern at a thrift store for $3. Now it has the candle in it. As it turns out, the candle doesn't work. I even changed the batteries, but I have another one somewhere I can replace it with, so no big deal. And it's just like plastic, kind of. It's not a metal one, so I didn't really want to paint it. But it comes apart. In order to clean it, I had to take it apart. So I just used a flathead screwdriver and kind of pried the sides open, and that made the top easier to come off. And then everything else either pulls right out, or you just need a little Phillips head screwdriver, like those black pieces on the top. I just used a little screwdriver to take those out. And once I took the screws out, they came out really easy. And then I was able to pull the 4 glass pieces out. And I did clean the glass pieces with glass cleaner on both sides. They really needed it. And then it would have been really hard to clean the inside any other way if I didn't take it apart. And then there are screws on the bottom that make that little candle come out. And so after I cleaned everything, I took it to the kitchen and just really doused it in the sink so I could really get it clean with a brush. I'm just going to put 2 stickers on each of the 4 panes of glass. Just kind of any way I want. You could use any kind of stickers for this. I just thought it was really pretty. And then I put the glass back in, basically reassembled the whole thing. This is almost not a DIY. It's so easy. Put the candle back in. Now I know it's not working, but I'll figure that out later. I just wanted to get this one done. And then I just put the top back on. It just kind of snapped right back on. And what I decided to do is make a cute little like messy bow for the top so that I could use this for Memorial 4th of July, but you could change out the bow. I did put a little piece of a mop head kind of rope around that top so it has something to glue the bow to, because I just don't think it'll stick to that plastic very well. So I took a bunch of, red, white, and blue ribbons that I had, most of them from Dollar Tree. And I think one might have been from Hobby Lobby, but I think those were all Dollar Tree. Anyway, I cut them into 6-inch strips, and then I just crisscrossed them, the biggest ones on the bottom, all the way up to the smallest ones towards the top. And then I'm going to take a little piece of white twine, and I'm just going to put it over and turn this over so that I can tie the knot in the back. And I'm just going to pull it as tight as I can and tie a knot. And then I'll start fluffing it. You fluff this thing every turn of this because it just wants to go back into place. So you just keep fluffing. You can fluff it forever. And then I'm going to put a little hot glue on the front, and I'm just going to put a piece of that red, white, and blue ribbon across the top and then attach it to the back. And then I'm going to that gives it a pretty little center. Again, it's a messy bow. You can do whatever you want. And then I'm just going to tie that around, and it kind of camouflages in that white mop head rope, and cut off the ends, and then I'll fluff again, and that's it. It was that easy. You could interchange this with any kind of bow you want, or no bow at all. You don't have to have a bow. Anyway, I love it. Let me know what you think.
And now for one last look at all 5 of my DIY hacks that are a mashup between Dollar Tree and a thrift store. I hope you like them. I enjoyed making them. Let me know what other items you'd like me to use from Dollar Tree for hacks. And if you like these kind of videos, I'd love to know, because then I will make more. And in case you didn't know, you are a blessing to me. Thanks so much.
If you like this video, I've got a couple other videos up here that I think you'll really like. Click on one of those next, and I'll see you there.